Sitting down with Timbers goalkeeper James Pantemis. James, now just one goal against last 270 minutes. From a fan perspective, the back line has been much improved. You've only had one shot on goal to face in the last each couple of games. Has it been pretty nice for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that every day of the week. It just kind of shows the work we put in on the defensive side, and I think, like you mentioned before, the back line has been super. But I think it also starts with the forwards, the way they're pressing, the way they're getting behind the ball. We're making it very difficult to break down, and obviously, as from the goalkeeper's perspective and the back line, we welcome that defensive structure from the forwards, and then it helps us a lot. And again, like you see how the center backs are putting in shifts, blocking shots, heading it away. So we've been really solid, and we hope to continue that.
Though just one shot on goal, that one that came in the 80th minute from Brendan Vasquez was a great save by you. When you saw him on the ground within the 18, did you have a hunch that he may get across here?
Probably not. I mean, like the thing that happened, obviously, like I'm trying to take a mental picture of what's going on my right while the cross is coming, and making sure I'm just giving everybody a little pointer quick. And then my first glance, you see him on the floor, and then second glance, he's heading the ball. So again, I'm taught to expect the unexpected and expect everything. And then, at the end of the day, you just got to make the save, and at the end, I got it done.
When I talked to you last year, we had a longer interview and said you can kind of think in slow motion when the shot's coming in. What were you thinking on that one?
That one there, I feel like I thought about a lot of things in that moment, even though it doesn't seem like you have a lot of time to think about it, but it was kind of tight in my body, and I had to, if you kind of see the replay, my hand was tilted more in to be able to elevate it over, and I didn't think if I would have went normally, I wouldn't have gotten enough, I would say I just have a barrier behind, so I had to kind of switch my hand placement, and I said, okay, let me just make sure I get it over the bar here, and switch my hand movement.
Did you see the pants displays the last home game?
I did. That was really cool. I love that. I saw a couple of them. I hope that they were wearing their own pants, but that was cool.
Yeah, I don't think security is going to be thrilled if they come in without the pants, but I think they probably brought an extra pair for you. Next home game against LAFC, they may be throwing them on the field. But let's talk about the upcoming game against SKC. Dejan Joveljic, a player for LA Galaxy who the club is used to. You haven't faced him too many times, but what makes him unique from your average striker in MLS?
Yeah, lethal. Lethal striker, someone who doesn't really need much to get a chance, and those are good strikers. Like you see it all around the world where they have half chances and they can turn that into goals, and you see that with him. He's very dangerous. We know that. We respect him. So we're going to try and make it difficult for him. Obviously, like I said, there's the respect for him, but we're going to treat it like a normal game and obviously prepare the way we usually prepare, and then make sure we're tight on him.
SKC, a very heavy crossing team. They also lead MLS in accurate switches per contest. Do you fluctuate your game at all depending on like what the film tells you beforehand?
I mean, we obviously we want to continue playing our style of play. We know that whether it's defensively or offensively, we have our identity, we have our principles that we continue to follow week in, week out. Other than that, we obviously, we're looking at tactics of the other team and how we could expose them and how they could expose us, and we make a couple of tweaks into our principles, and then we go from there.
Does the game day routine change at all on the road versus home? Like, what do you do?
Definitely, it changes a little bit, especially with this one. It's earlier kickoff on the road as well, so you're down to one meal instead of usually two or three. For me personally, like nothing's too different because I'm someone who's very, very easy, just lying down, resting. If it's like a late night game, like you'll have your lunch, have your breakfast. But now it's you're gonna wake up and you're already in pregame meal and meeting. So it's maybe do you want to wake up a little bit earlier so that way you'll be kind of more switched on in that pregame meal and meeting, where compared to usually you can go down for breakfast and you have your moment to wake up, and then a couple hours later is your meeting.
With Jimmer Forey suspended in this game, you'll have likely a new left back next to you, neither Ian Smith or Claudio Bravo. How, as a goalkeeper, can you make their life a little bit easier in their first start in a bit?
I think just communication, and make sure there's positive reinforcement. Everything they do well, even if they don't do something well, you just keep telling them, next one, don't worry about it. Or everybody can play. We know that we have very good depth in that position, and then I'm not too worried about that whatsoever. So whether it's Ian or Claudio, I think we'll have their back and they'll know it.
Good luck, James.
Thank you.